So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's get a little bit more definitive here down to the state level. We've been talking about federal estate tax, and we're in the Pacific Northwest here. So let's specifically talk about Oregon and Washington and their estate tax. Talk to us about how that is different than the federal estate tax.
The state estate tax is a tax or a death tax when you pass away. It's also called an inheritance tax or a death tax. This is the tax on the value of your estate that your beneficiaries have to pay before they receive their inheritance. And in Oregon and Washington, that level is extremely low. So whereas federal estate tax is $14 million today,
Right.
and it's a 40% tax. With Oregon and Washington is 2.2 million. So if you're above that, they're going to start taxing you at 10%. And it's a sliding scale. So the more you have, the higher that tax is. And likewise, Oregon I'm an Oregonian originally, myself, born and raised. And Oregon, as much as I love my home state, it's the worst of all the states for estate tax. So that limit is going to be $1 million.
Wow.
And anything over that $1 million is, again, going to be a 10% tax on a sliding scale. So this is something that impacts so many Oregonians, especially if they even just own a piece of a home or a primary residence and have a little bit of money in a retirement account or in some savings.
So, and real quickly, I want to be clear about this. We're talking about if you got a husband and wife, the estate tax doesn't come into play until both have passed. Is that correct?
Maybe. It depends on the situation and what state you're in. So Oregon is a separate property state. So they view husband and wife's assets separately. Washington is a community property state, so they will evaluate that together. And that's actually one of the strategies is having Oregon residents create a community property trust from another state that has community property laws so that they can avoid some of that additional tax.
Very good. Well, folks, this is a big deal. If you happen to have that real estate property or other things that are involved with value, it's good to look at the estate taxes, whether at the federal level or at the state level. And so Marcella and her team are standing by. If we can chat it for 30 minutes on a phone or on a Zoom, no obligation. You can quickly find out what options you might have. It's a great thing. So take us up on that. The links are down below, and we'll see you over there.